I would say as you're beginning to recover, recognize we're having the New Madrid earthquake exercise going on next month. That if something happens at New Madrid, how will the nation respond to that? And your capabilities is in that discussion period as well. So this forward engineer support team main idea is one that can be used in combat operations as well as back in here. Some of the projects that you guys have worked on was 8 new and major renovations of the police substations in Kandahar, 26 force protection projects in Kandahar provincial government facilities, Kandahar University water distribution system, eastern and western fruit markets. And you can't go to Afghanistan unless you're building roads, and you guys worked on a number of roads and pretty much worked all over Kandahar. We've been talking about the roads in Afghanistan for 20 years, and we had an opportunity to go in there and start working them 10 years ago, and you guys continued that work, and I appreciate that very much. I want to personally thank you for your selfless service and sacrifice in raising your hands, going downrange. Certainly, it's a difficult decision to make. You're leaving your family, your friends, things that are most important to you, and where you're working with all the things that you work in a community and help the mayor out and others when you work with Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and all of the community services that are out there and with your churches and things of that sort. When you raise your hand, you pull yourself from those community services and you move downrange, and you are well missed in many of the communities that you guys belong to. We're glad to have you back, bailed back into those community service requirements. Your leadership is needed in many of those, and it was missed while you were pulled out from those perspectives. I would end with the words "essayons." Essayons means "let us try." A lot of folks say that it's a French word, and it's not so much of "let us try." It's kind of like "let us try." I don't think it's a French word anymore. It's an Army word, and it means "let us try." When others don't know what to do, essayons. When others have failed, essayons. When it has to get done, essayons. Thank you.
General Walsh, again, thank you for those kind comments. Ladies and gentlemen, please let me introduce to you our next speaker, the commander of the 579th Engineer Detachment, FSDM, Colonel Richard W. Dean II.
Good morning. Thank you, General Walsh, for those kind words and your discussions on a seance. You see a silver speeding car going through Vicksburg with a license plate that says a seance. I'd like to be the fine gentleman behind him. But so he's a marked man. But as the mayor mentioned, today is an amazing day. I am so proud of the 579th and the soldiers and the civilians. And before I begin, I'd like to give you all a round of applause for everything you've done. General Walsh, I'd like to thank you for all you've done for the 579th and the Mississippi Valley Division while we've been deployed. A lot of support that happened from the rear to get us deployed and maintain us while we're overseas. It's very much appreciated. And it's great to be back here in the United States, a marvelous country, the United States of America as well. And I'd like to welcome our distinguished guests and visitors and employees from Mississippi Valley Division, the Vicksburg District, the Engineer Research and Development Center for making this a great day for all of us to be here. And to the 579th Engineer Detachment's families. It's been a long, long year, and I'm sure you've missed your family members, but your support was very much appreciated while we were over there. Your presence yesterday at our award ceremony was uplifting and truly memorable. And with all my sincerity, I'd like to thank you for being there for each and every day while we were over there being deployed. There's not a day that we didn't discuss family members back home and what was going on back home and so forth with family members and their health and so forth. And that's very much appreciated. It's with that same devotion that we're back here now for this redeployment ceremony. And to the 579th Engineer Detachment, Ford Engineer Support Team, Maine. Wow, what a year. Each one of us has grown, we've matured, and we've done a lot of things individually and collectively. You were trained, you're now confident, and you're ready to accomplish a mission in a combat environment. Every single one of you was a volunteer willing to sacrifice whatever was necessary to accomplish our engineering mission in Afghanistan. And I am truly proud and blessed to have led a great team. Despite encountering over 100 rocket attacks, some of us encountered several IEDs, and the ground assault while we were at Kandahar Airfield. We all worked in the war zone, endured the dust, endured the heat, endured the lovely poop pond, and the tight living quarters, as well as the rocket alarms going off at any time of the day or night. But it was essential to the success of the stabilization and reconstruction efforts of Afghanistan that were achieved. This is such a unique blend of talent that I've had the pleasure to command. I am humbled and I am honored to have been selected to deploy with the 579th Engineer Detachment to Afghanistan. This is truly a unique opportunity for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to establish history with the Field Force Engineering Team and their concepts. The team, comprised of civilians and military, worked extensively with the Afghans at the local level, at the provincial and the strategic levels to develop and establish governance projects. Let me take this opportunity to highlight some of their accomplishments, and I'm probably going to overdo some of what General Walsh had mentioned as well. But the engineers designed tactical infrastructure and other projects for the coalition partners, as well as significant projects for the Afghan government. Coalition partners, it was a NATO environment. Not only were the Americans there, but we had Canadians, we did projects for the Romanians, and a bunch of other organizations as well as countries. Some of the projects were during the troop surge. When we got there, there was not enough housing, there wasn't enough infrastructure for the troops to actually do their work. So one of the first projects we worked on were tactical operations centers at Camp Smith, and that was to get the 82nd, 10th, and the 101st established in their brigade battalion headquarters. We also worked during the Operation Hunkari. It was a huge tactical operation that was going on over there. We worked on checkpoints. We also worked a lot on Kandahar. Also, we designed sewage lagoons at Camp Wilson, rifle ranges at Camp Phoenix, and many projects at Kandahar Airfield to include a compound for the Romanian allies, a community chapel complex, post exchange, a Class 1 office park and conference center, and various drainage projects in Deep South. The engineers also completed projects for the local mayor, Hamadi, and the provincial governor, Wiesa, to include 8 new or major renovations of police substations in Kandahar, 26 force protection projects for the Kandahar provincial government facilities, the Dan District Agricultural Center, the Kandahar City University Water Distribution System, eastern and western fruit markets, and numerous roads throughout Kandahar, as well as through Zari, which is the home of Beulah Omar, who's leader of the Taliban. And we also ensured that one of our first missions was to make sure that Operation Phoenix had completed all their 536 projects and they were properly closed down. We did that in less than 30 days, and that was quite an achievement, knowing that we didn't have any office space to do that work. In addition, the 579th also provided general engineering support to the Afghan Engineer District South, which is another Corps of Engineer district, similar to the 6 districts that General Walsh had mentioned. And we provided contracting services, resource management, program management, safety engineering, legal services, project engineering, and construction quality assurance services for numerous projects at Kandahar Airfield and the Afghanistan National Security Forces infrastructure in excess of $400 million. I don't know about you, but that's pretty darn impressive, and I'm exhausted listing them all, and that was just a touch of them all. I know we're the Corps of Engineers, but I want to thank the support staff of the 579th. And we wouldn't have had a successful mission without their contributions from the logistics, the intelligence, surveying, communications, budget, and special staff sections. It's been a total team effort and a job well done. Command Sergeant Major Collins and Lieutenant Colonel James, thank you for your efforts to help prepare the team for deployment, and your significant contributions during the deployment have been spectacular. Even though the 579th mission is complete, let's keep our follow-on unit, the 533rd Engineer Detachment, in our thoughts for a successful mission and prayers for their safe return home back to their Fort Knox. We have set them up for immediate success, and I know they're doing great things over there now. 579th, your deployment is now successfully completed. You now face new challenges ahead, whether it's encountering a natural disaster, similar to a flood that's about ready to happen here in the next couple of weeks, or a stateside or possibly another deployment worldwide. I know you'll be able to work together under the Field Force engineering concepts to provide seamless engineering support to the warfighter and the greatest military organization in the world, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. You are vital to the success of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineer mission, as you possess the skills and unit's mission to meet global mission requirements. I'd like to thank the Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Brian Crawford in the back, for your services both today and yesterday. I'd like to also thank Susan for your great singing of the national anthem, as well as Patrick for the invocation. And I'd also like to thank Sergeant Major Collins, Miss Cassandra Reed, and many others behind the scenes for making yesterday's award ceremony and today's redeployment ceremony a lifelong memorable event. And to all our guests in attendance, thank you for coming and recognizing our soldiers. With our colors now encased, congratulations to the 579th Engineer Detachment. Welcome back home, and I'm extremely proud of each and every one of you. This is my final day of command with the 579th. I wish you great speed and good sailing. Thank you.
Colonel Dean, again, thank you for those remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and join us in the singing of the Engineer Song and the Army Song. The copies of the lyrics will be provided to you along with your program. You are now free to greet your soldiers and civilians of the 579th Engineer Detachment, Best Thank you for attending the ceremony and have a great day.